बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम फ्रेंड्स, उम्मीद करते हैं कि आप सब खैरियत से होंगे। फ्रेंड्स, आज के सेशन में हम डिस्कस करेंगे हाउ इज़ द विडाल टेस्ट फॉर टाइफाइड परफॉर्म। वीडियो की तरफ बढ़ने से पहले हमारी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दें। चलें फ्रेंड्स, आज के सेशन की तरफ बढ़ते हैं। विडाल टेस्ट हम सबसे पहले देखते हैं कि ये होता क्या है। व्हाट इज़ अ विडाल टेस्ट एंड व्हाई इट इज़ यूज्ड फॉर। If you are having the symptoms for high fever, fatigue, diarrhea, constipation, abdominal pain, rashes known as rose spots, dry cough, and headache, here are the possibility of the typhoid fever. Doctors suggest the Widal test in the diagnosis of the typhoid fever. Salmonella enterica serotype typhi bacteria causes the typhoid fever. The infection occurs due to the consumption of the contaminated food and water with the fecal matter. Widal test means to detect the typhoid causing the bacteria in the bloodstream of the patient through the agglutination biochemical test. Often people search for the full form of the Widal. The first fact that is causes Ferdinand Widal developed the test, and so the name of the Widal test was Widal test after him. A Widal test is used to investigate the presence of the H and O serum agglutinins in the patient's serum. How the Widal test for the typhoid performed. Widal test procedure here we will discuss involves the serum agglutination test to detect the typhoid fever. Patients who are suffering from the enteric fever with the will carry the homologous antibodies in the serum. This slide method and the two methods are the two types of the Widal test procedures. If the serum reacts with the respective antigen, agglutination will happen. Widal test for typhoid is the rapid test diagnosis method, and results are ready on the same day. What is the Widal test results range? The interpretation of the Widal test reports need careful study. Widal blood test is the both qualitative and the quantitative diagnostic analysis. A Widal test reports is more commonly known as the typhoid test report. If the Widal test range is more than or equal to 1:160 liter for antigen O and antigen H, then it indicates the typhoid infection. For the diagnosis of the Widal blood test, 1:20 and 1:40, 1:60, 1:80, 1:160, and 1:200 liters need to be included in the diagnosis of the obtained the typhoid test report. What is the Widal test normal range chart? When the test report lies in the Widal test normal range chart, then it is negative for the typhoid fever. If the liter value is less than or equal to the 1:20, 1:40, 1:80, and less than 1:160 is the test report, then the typhoid test result lies in the Widal test normal value. What are the Widal test positive values? Widal test positive values indicates that the person has the Salmonella enterica serover typhi bacteria infection. In the typhoid report positive, both the O and H antigen titers are present. As typhi O positive means active infections of the typhoid fever. Active infection indicates the patient has an infection of the Salmonella enterica serover bacteria typhi. As typhi H positive means there is past infection, or it shows the result of the immunized person's serum test report. What is the Widal test negative? Widal test negative means that a person does not have enteric fever and there is another infection causing the symptoms. The titer value of the antigen O and H is below 1:160 is a simple. What is the price of the Widal test? Widal test is an affordable test and so is widely taken into the consideration in the developing countries where endemic fevers are relevant. The Widal test cost varies as per the location, testing center, and other affecting criteria. In its role diagnostic, the Widal test cost in INR 260 to get a Widal test lab near you. Find the nearest Israel center, book for simple collection, and have your result ready and same day. And the more preferable suggestions is to book for the Widal test at the home to make it more convenient for you. How is the Widal test for the typhoid fever results? And what are the Widal test positive values? Widal test positive values indicates the H and O antigen titers are present. Here, the infection occurs due to the consumption of the contaminated food and water with the fecal matter. And Widal test means to detect the typhoid causing bacteria in the bloodstream of the patient through the agglutination biochemical test. Often people search for the full form of the Widal. And the fact is that the George Ferdinand Widal developed the test, so it is named according to his name. And this test was called as the Widal test after him. The infection occurs due to the consumption of the contaminated food and water. Widal test procedure includes the Widal test report and Widal test for typhoid. सो फ्रेंड्स, ये था हमारा आज का सेशन. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. अल्लाह हाफिज़.